Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to my Gears of War 4 Insane Difficulty Guide. This is Act 3, Chapter 3, At the Doorstep. Now, this is a long chapter. Hunker down, grab your snacks, and get ready for a long video. This is a wonderful chapter, and this is the last these are the last engagements that I truly enjoy about Gears of War. Well, I guess not about the entire game. No, let's not get ahead of ourselves. These are the last fair and fun engagements of Act 3. There's some later engagements in Act 3 that are just not fair and are just simply out to get you, and that's probably why you're here watching this video now. And here's a cool little Easter egg. If you run into all those chairs, JD kind of screams out. It's a fun little thing. You get some cool dialogue and stuff. It's pretty funny. I enjoyed it, at least. But coming out to here, this is actually a really nice little engagement. I throw a grenade down here in this emergence hole. I'm going to say that takes care of a lot of people. But what's really interesting about this engagement is that there's just an interesting angle. You know, Gears of War is all about angles and cover and all that good stuff, and we're here slightly at an angle off to these guys, so it creates some really interesting sight lines and some interesting ways to pick off your enemies and stuff. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, and I will continue to mention, there is a sub version. There is a smaller group of the swarm called what I like to call the Russian swarm, because they just rush you and they are so aggressive and it's absolutely ridiculous, and they will play a huge part in the next video. But here is this guy rushing at us. That is the Russian swarm right there. Hopefully you have to pray that one of your teammates is in between you and that guy, because they are simply relentless. They will not stop until they get you. It's like they know they're in a video game and they are coming out to get you. One thing I do want to mention about this area too, before we get too far into the gunfight, is this is beautiful, man. This is such a beautiful game. All throughout this game, the reds, the greens, the blues, the yellows, especially out here. I mean, we are, in this little engagement coming up here too, we are storming a castle. Like, that's awesome. This little fortress, it's brilliant. It's beautiful, and it's still Gears of War. It's that beautiful destruction. It's absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous, and I cannot wait to upgrade my PC to Windows 10 and play this on my PC. I'm definitely, hopefully, gonna do that. But just look at that. Oh, the beautiful destruction is amazing. So hopefully you have a Retro Lancer here. We are going to be using the last of the Retro Lancer in the next couple chapters, but we're going to deal with some Juvies here that just kind of jump out of us at first. And this is a really good example of how the Coalition used Juvies really effectively here, because they gave us some regular drones and they threw some Juvies at us as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang back here. I'm going to avoid the fires, the shots coming from the drones, and I'm just going to take care of these Juvies until I think I'm comfortable to push up here. And here we go. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at just, he's not stopping. He's not stopping. He's not stopping. He's a Russian swarm, man. He's a Russian swarm, and he shotguns me, and I'm trying to hip fire him, and that's just me getting enough shots on target and then meleeing him before he melees me. So you just gotta, I wish there was a strategy, and there should be a strategy, but there's not. It's just, hopefully you shoot him. You got to prioritize that guy. You got to prioritize the guy running after you. Like I said, it's like he knows he's in a video game and you can't kill him before he can run up and kill you. It's really not fair, especially when we get into the next chapter. It's just kind of giving you a taste right now, but when you're in like close quarters and that guy is just in your face, there's really nothing you can do. And when there's 4 other guys shooting you when you're outside of cover, so you can't even shoot the guy running at you, it's really not fair, and I don't quite like it at all. It feels really cheap to me. So This next little section, mind you, we've not gotten a checkpoint since we first got those Juvies. There's a ton of ammo to my left, right here. To my left, there's a secret little alcove with grenades and ammo and all that sort of good stuff. So definitely use that. I was just making sure I can hop back up here, because once we take care of the drones that came out of the grub hole or the E-hole, we're going to be dealing with some more Juvies. Now, along with the Juvies, we have some Swarm sniper rifles. And now, the Swarm sniper rifles, as well as the Swarm torque bows, are actually a little fairer than I think they've ever been in Gears of War. They're definitely fairer than the E-bar, the robot, the DB snipers in the first 2 acts, because those robots were really, really accurate, and they really didn't miss you at all. And these guys kind of aim for your teammates occasionally. Don't get me wrong, they'll most likely aim for you. Oh, and we're deal with these Juvies. I like to deal with them over here because we're not in the line of sight of the snipers, and I have a good amount of range to kind of dodge those guys. But as I was saying, these guys, they'll go for your teammates. They'll go for you mostly, but there's some times where they'll look at your teammates and you can kind of land some shots on them. I think you'll see I get lucky in an upcoming chapter with the sniper rifle just because I was an idiot and he didn't shoot me, which is really nice. But just pick these guys off at a distance, or if you want to get close. I think I'm going to eventually get annoyed and push up here. But you guys are probably here for the strategy, and about halfway through this, there's a huge confrontation of defending the museum that we're actually fighting towards now. And there is a strategy that I've seen in many Reddit posts, but not many videos I've seen. I've only seen one video of the strategy, and hopefully this will get you a little bit more comfortable with said strategy. But for this engagement, just take out these snipers and enjoy the scenery, because this is truly beautiful. This is a beautiful piece of architecture. We've got beautiful autumn leaves in the trees, and we've got just a beautiful place for us to fight here. They really did a good job. The Coalition did a phenomenal job with taking the Gears of War franchise into a beautiful step forward. Like, look at that. He's going for my teammate right now. That's awesome. And I think he's currently down but not out. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm actually going to make a mistake here. I'm going to go up and I'm going to kill him, and I'm just going to move on. It's one of the few times I get to do an execution. Don't do what I do. Instead, go back and pick up ammo. Okay, you can pick up a long shot if you want. I would recommend the Retro Lancer. I give the long shot to a teammate. I think she already has a long shot, so I can't. I don't know why I couldn't give it to her, but I give it to Dell, and so he has a long shot now. But go refill your ammo. Go get some grenades. By this time, I started to realize that Toms, those special grenades, probably aren't going to last, so I really shouldn't worry about it. But you need to have full ammo when you go into here. I kind of put myself in a bad situation here because we are going to play one of my favorite engagements, but unfortunately one of the longest engagements in the game. This is really, really a fun engagement. I think it's really cool. A lot of people have kind of trouble here, I've seen, but I really quite like it. There are 3 swarms here that you have the high ground on, so I like to use my Retro Lancer just to kind of use that first. If you ever run out of ammo, these guys have hammer bursts, and the hammer burst is a very good gun in this game. There's not really a bad gun in this game, although I don't like the long shot because you can't replenish its ammo with the ammo packs. But for the most part, everything really packs a punch. Everything's really effective, and they did a really good job of making sure that you're never really in a bad spot for ammo. But you really need to remember to get ammo for this section. Once you take out these guys, you'll get that guitar riff, right? But you'll notice no checkpoint. No checkpoint whatsoever, and we're going to need to face off against 3 Pouncers. Now, this is me doing a walkthrough, and if I were doing a playthrough, I would whip out my Memento Mori Easter egg pistol that I have attached to my thigh right now, and I would take 3 of these shots, and I would kill these Pouncers, and I would just speed run this all the way. But I'm not doing that. I am making a walkthrough guide, and you may or may not have that pistol, so I don't want to abuse my power of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whittle these guys' healths down, and I'm going to sit back here and cover, and I'm going to pray that Dell and Kate look after each other. If this were like an actual story, Kate really should be going after Dell, because Dell is the only one reviving her in the entire campaign, so I don't know why we're in a relationship. But get your active reloads. Ammo is a huge deal right now. Once you kill one of the pouncers, you are going to get another spawned in right there. Mind you, the first engagement of the pouncers that I showed you last video still applies. You can still grenade tag these guys. If they take down one of your teammates, you can still chainsaw one of them. Those are definitely effective ways that you can take out the pouncer. But you need to do it safely, and you don't want to fight those locusts all too often. Again, look at that, I was super lucky. But then again, that's probably, this right here is a beautiful reason, a beautiful example of why I love fighting the pouncers. They have those quills on their back, which you can obviously see when they are about to fire at you, and you can easily take cover and easily get your active reloads on in between when they shoot you. It's really fair. It's completely fair. It's completely wonderful, and I love the dynamic it has for this game. Sometimes they will not get distracted by your teammates, and they'll start walking towards you. That's kind of just unfortunate. Just shoot them as much as you can and really hope and pray that they get distracted by your teammates. And I should have probably, and right here, as soon as you kill the pouncers, what's really difficult is that you're going to get an entirely new group of enemies after that. You're probably going to get a half a dozen swarm. I almost call them locusts because they are locusts, but they're not. You're going to get like a half a dozen more swarm. And I like to push back up here because these swarm don't mess around. These swarm have bolt-hawk pistols, and bolt-hawk pistols are like marksman rifles. They can two-shot kill you. So if you have a little bit of damage and you get shot by a bolt-hawk, that's a one-hit kill, or seemingly a one-hit kill. And it's really fast down, and it's unforgiving, and it's relentless. So be wary of that. So what I like to do is I like to come back up here. Ideally, you should probably have another maybe 200 bullets with your Lancer, maybe another like 50 bullets. And look at that, they will charge you. They will run past your enemies and they will charge you. That Russian swarm, man, I'm telling you, they were trained by the KGB. That's so dumb, why did I say that? But yeah, so you should have a lot more ammo than I did. This fight should be a little bit smoother for you. But the reason I love it is because it's completely fair. Like, if you know what to do, if you anticipate the enemies and what they're doing, it's completely fair, and it's completely gears. There's lots of great cover here. You can jump in and out of cover. You can jump in between cover. You have the high ground up here. You have the Pouncer, which is a beautiful boss. In my opinion, I think he's one of the best new enemies. I said last video he's my favorite new enemy, and I think that still holds true. It's just a wonderful engagement, and luckily Kate got super aggressive and got super close and took care of those enemies. Our teammates, the more I play Gears of War 4, the more I realize, our teammates aren't so bad. I've had teammates in like Halo and Call of Duty, and they can't do anything, but at least here in Gears of War, they can fight for their own lives, at least in some way, in some circumstances. Look at that guy, that Russian swarm, man. And I want to run up here and get an execution, but she beats me to the punch. But yeah, it's a very fair room. It's a very fair room, and I'm going to pick up my Retro Lancer again because I like it for this next part, even though I'm not going to use it for too long because we're going to pick up a boom shot. But anyway, we are moving on. I will say, if you don't have the Memento Mori, if you don't want that Easter egg pistol and you want to go with another pistol, go with the Bolt-Hawk. Okay, the Bolt-Hawk, my first time playing this through Insane, really saved me ammo, and it saved me time. It's like a little pocket sniper. It is absolutely amazing. It's so wonderful, and it saves your life so much. And the snub pistol too. The snub pistol is really good, but I've noticed a lot of the time I don't have time to get the shots necessary on target with the snub pistol. I can easily just get a shot or two with the with the bolt hog better than I can the snub pistol. So my strategy here, it's a little risky, but there's actually a lot of destructive cover here, and it makes me uncomfortable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rush up here. I know it sounds ridiculous. I said all these things about how I hate the Russian swarm, but here we are, because something interesting happens. When you rush up here, your teammates rush up here, and when your teammates rush up here, the enemies get all confused. They're like, what are they doing? Look at them. They're stupid. They're just standing there like idiots. They don't know what to do. It's funny, and granted, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this happens every single time consistently and you're not going to have an issue with this, but that's definitely the most consistent strategy here. So we've taken care of those guys outside, and we've got the turret guy, as well as I think a couple other people up front, or up top on the turret and stuff, and that's what we got to take it out. And unfortunately, this is one of these slower sections because there's not a lot of good cover here. There's not a lot of good cover to push up into this room. They'll have a little bit of juvies once you get that little prompt to clear the museum of swarm. There'll be some juvies, and I believe that will make the man on the turret stop and turn around and start dealing with you inside the museum. You can try and get a grenade in there and everything, but really, and I completely didn't notice that was a swarm right there. Yes, that was me being a noob. But there's one of probably 3 guys up there that you got to take out. There's one guy there on the staircase, and there's many guys. I thought the guy was rushing me. I was like, oh no, here we go again. Luckily, he was rushing Kate, and Kate can hold her own, at least against some of the bigger guys. And here I am, just like, I don't want to mess this up because we have not gotten a checkpoint, and I don't want to just run in here and get my head popped off by one of these guys with like a retro lancer or a hammer burst or anything. So I'm going to try and get my teammates to push up here to flush him out of his cover and just deal with him. And it's just this one guy left, plus I think a Juvie got stuck somewhere, so I'm playing really tentative. I don't want to die. And if you're watching this playthrough, if you're watching this walkthrough and you're like, man, Donuts, you're just a scrub, you're afraid of everything, you won't go get in their face because you're bad. Like, once you play like 10 minutes of a chapter and you die, you don't want to go through that again. And this is one of the few times I think that I ever chainsaw somebody. And I've kind of got it down a little bit. During my first playthrough, I thought there's no way you can chainsaw anybody. But luckily, if you do start it up like well before and they have to run into it, you can actually do it. I do it, I think, one more time in this walkthrough. But it's super risky, and it's not a strategy that I would highly recommend. But if they're rushing you and you have no other choice, get that chainsaw ready and brace yourself, and pray. It's not a good strategy, but it's the only strategy that they give you because those Russian swarm are completely unfair. Okay, this is the part where we're going to talk strategy. Boom shot right there, infinite ammo pile right there. We're going to pick up some grenades right here. You're probably got rid of all of your dom-toms by now. Unfortunately, it was a fun little Easter egg, and hopefully you enjoyed all of those. But what we need to do now, there's going to be a total of 3 or 4 waves here. Okay, this first wave is going to be just regular swarm, regular drones. All right, pretty simple, pretty actually kind of fun. You can stand up in the turret. I would not recommend it because your teammates are up there, so the swarm is going to be shooting there. What you need to do is you need to come down here and keep in mind, like I said at the beginning of this section, most of this stuff is destructible. It's very fragile, and that's something that I noticed. You can just, if you see someone in cover, just shoot the cover. Like, I'm about to figure it out here. If someone's in cover and you're like, man, I wish I had a better shot on him, shoot the cover. Like, he'll be out in the open, and Dell is doing a really good job. I think it's Dell or Kate is doing a really good job at manning the turret. Look at that, he's taking out some people. He takes out, I think, probably as many swarm as I do here, just because he's putting down covering fire, and these guys are kind of coming after me. And there's going to be probably about maybe 7 to 10 guys here. It's really not that big of a deal. I've never really had a big problem on this part. You've got some good angles here, some good Gears of War shoulder third-person shooter advantage here, because you can see where they're in cover and they can't see you and all that stuff. But what we're going to do as soon as this guy dies, as soon as... oh, I guess there's some reinforcements here. As soon as we get cleared of the rest of these drones, there's going to be a whole horde of Juvies. But what we're going to do, instead of defending the house like the game wants you to, instead of defending the house, what we're going to do is, you'll see it here, we're going to sprint back all the way to the beginning where we were. And I'm going to get a little ballsy here, trying to get this guy out, okay? And he should be dead here soon. And I'm just going to make a mad dash here pretty soon, right? He's got a bolt hawk, and I'm going. As soon as you hear that scream, yes, they are going to spawn to your right here. They're going to be right on your tail. Look at how close you are. Make a mad dash, go all the way down these stairs, and just book it. Just book it, and we're going to do roll, turn around, and brace yourself. This is the most skillful part of this area, taking out all of these Juvies with your Lancer. You don't have your Retro Lancer, you don't have your one-hit kill melee weapon. I guess I could have taken out my Memento Mori, but I didn't want to do that for the guide, and so you're going to see me fidget a whole lot here. But what's really nice about this little piece of architecture here is that there's no cover for these Juvies to jump on. So all they can do is do that little dash move. You'll see he dashes to his right, to our left, and that's all he can do. He can't do anything else. He can't jump over cover. He can't mount something and be all crazy. He can't do any backflips, somersaults like they teach them in the KGB. He can just run after you. So just shoot these guys. You should be good. And also the Lancer is a good melee weapon if you have one that gets way too close. However, I think you just heard a voice prompt by JD here that, oh no, they're inside. You're supposed to be inside that museum that we just fortified, and you're supposed to be fighting off this whole horde of drones and Juvies, and it's impossible on Insane, and it's completely unfair, and it's not fun. So what you need to do when you hear, oh, they're inside, you're going to get a group of about, I would say, half a dozen or so Juvies, half a dozen to a dozen Juvies, and I'm going to plant a couple grenades here just to take care of some of them, but there's probably a handful more. And we're going to abuse the artificial intelligence and our teammates in this game here. This is a strategy you might have read somewhere before. This is it being put into effect right here. And this is a long strategy. It takes a lot of patience, and there's a lot of stress being built into it, because the Juvies will run after you, but as you'll see, my teammates are constantly going down and getting revived. That's because there are drones. Drones, there's some swarm advancing to them. So we're going to sit here and we're going to wait. We're going to wait, and we're going to speed up this footage to a whole bunch of degrees because we're going to wait. If you get a swarm, if you get a drone here, take them out with your boom shot. Take them out with the grenades. Hopefully you don't get it. The 2 or 3 times I've done it, never gotten a drone here, never gotten a swarm. It's always worked out. Look at me meleeing. That was probably about 5 minutes worth of waiting that I sped up there. That was so stressful. My blood pressure was raised. It was absolutely insane. But if a drone does come, just take him out with that boom shot. Be careful, because that checkpoint is unforgiving and you get pushed back a lot. Make those grenades count. Shoot those Juvies, be accurate with that boom shot, take that guy out as quickly as you can, and good luck with that section, because that is the thick of it. That's the most difficult part of this chapter. Everything from here on out is going to be we're going to start with some fun sections. This is actually one of the best sections that I had in playing Gears of War. This is one of the best things that I've ever done with a boom shot. I'll kind of spoil it a little bit, because I have 4 good shots with the boom shot. I make use of them here pretty quickly, and I make pretty quick work of this next engagement here, which is actually pretty fun. Now, it is going to prompt you in this next section to use the what do you call it? The Buzzkill? I think that's what it is. It's actually a really cool weapon. It shoots out those razor blades, drill bits, something like that, really sharp. That thing right there, it's going to prompt you to do that. I don't do that. I like using the boom shot to take care of that guy. I'm going to get a reload done. I'm going to take care of that guy, and then I'm going to get another active reload done. I'm going to shoot, I think I definitely shoot somebody. Yeah, I'm going to shoot that guy, and he's dead. I'm going to get a reload in. I'm going to shoot that guy, and they're all dead. Like, I did that. That was me. This was probably my second attempt. And I was like, oh, we'll just see what I can do with the boom shot. And that's what I did. Usually that's a lot more difficult. I will recommend getting grenades into those E-holes as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. And one or two of those swarms will rush you. They will be Russian swarms, so be careful. I toss a grenade up here because there's this guy. Luckily it closes it, but it doesn't actually kill this guy. So that's unfortunate. I just kind of gotta, he's down but not out now. There's a couple guys that actually climb up from the bridge there. I think there's just like 2 or 3, and they're really close. These guys though, I haven't noticed them rush too much, you know, being so close. I always figure that these swarm are going to rush you and just ruin your day, which is why I'm not popping out of cover as quickly or as liberally as I probably should. But I'm nervous, man. Once you get downed by those Russian swarms, it's just ridiculous, and you don't want to deal with them. Like, I see this guy, I'm like, no, and then I see he's just going for his teammate, so there's that. And this is actually a cool execution. Like I said, this is really good chapter or act, I guess, for executions here. But what you want to do is I pick up the incendiary grenades, and there's one guy with a shotgun that's gonna rush you as soon as you break this. For some reason, these guys actually spawned before I broke this, but what I found is I'll toss a grenade to prime him, 1 or 2, and then I'll just shoot him, and he should either get deterred or die because of those grenades and because of your Lancer, or he should get distracted by your teammates. And there you go. That was a great example of how the swarm are bad shots for some reason. So yeah, that's kind of how I deal with that. You will die. I believe you're gonna die because you're not practiced with this section, with this little bridge, and that shotgun guy will kill you. But the checkpoint is right there. It's one of the weird checkpoints that is actually pretty good. So you do get a checkpoint right after you, right before you destroy that bridge. So don't get too frustrated. It's just one Russian swarm that you got to take out. He has a shotgun and that stuff. And there's an infinite ammo thing right here. And this is the beginning of probably one of my least favorite chapters in all of Gears of War and in the entire franchise. We get met with this guy, and there's this one final engagement. There's one final battle of this chapter, and it's really interesting. The architecture is really good. I love the distance we get from it. There's a boom shot up there if you want to use it. There's some ammo here, but the thing about this, and there's some frag grenades too I'm going to pick up, but the thing about this engagement is that you get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different waves of enemies. Plus you get a surprise, what do you call it, monster closet at the end? I don't know. There's a cheap moment where a shotgun or 2 guys pop out at the very last minute, very close quarter. You'll see what I mean. But now, until 10 minutes into the end of the video, is just this. It's just this engagement. So for the first little bit of the engagement, I'm going to pop back in here and I'm going to deal with the snipers. Okay, the first time that I played this, I was really, really bad with the sniper rifle. I wasn't used to the Gears of War kind of aiming and stuff, but after a couple practice runs, I was a little bit better with the sniper rifle, and I can take out those snipers with my own long shot. And the rest are just drones. I think there's a sniper down there. You could probably push up here a little bit to outside. I think I actually am. But warning, if you go down these stairs and hop down, you cannot hop back up these stairs. So I'm going to try to stay on these stairs as much as possible because I know there's a huge ammo box back there for me to use. And this is a 10-minute long fight because these guys pop in and out of cover really slowly and they're so far away and your Lancer doesn't do that much damage at that far of a distance, and it's just absolutely slow and monotonous. It's not bad, it's not unfair, it's not even unfun. It's just too long. It's just way, way, way too long. And you can see me, I'm really trying to time when I'm in and out of cover by the time I killed that long shot, that sniper rifle there. And he's just going to pop in and out of cover, and we're just going to sit here and we're going to watch this. But first, I am going to get a drink because I've been talking for half an hour here. Oh boy, like I said, sit tight, get your snacks. There's nothing else to say here. There is one bit of strategy that I have towards the end. You can see that guy's actually crawling away, but I can't run up to him. I can't go get him because, you know, I don't want to cross that invisible tripwire when I can't get back. So once you defeat, that's the first round. You're gonna come up to an engagement where there's 2 snipers on the balcony now, across the way where that first sniper was, and there's some I'm gonna say Hammerburst and Lancer guys across the bridge from you, kind of suppressing fire on you. And it's really nothing too spectacular. There's no like, aha, there's a strategy. It's just kind of is how it is. And for this playthrough, for this walkthrough, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about headshotting these guys, at least so intently. Like, if I have a shot like that, I'm going to take it, but I'm going to kind of pretend that, you know, maybe my subscribers missed a shot or two. You know, maybe they're not as competent with a sniper rifle as I am, and so there's that. And I think the third wave, the wave after this, I don't think they have a sniper rifle with them. And if they do, I don't think it's on the balcony there. I think there's only 2 waves of snipers on the balcony. I guess we'll see here. But again, here's the last part. There's 1 guy left, and he's just going to run in and out of cover. He's going to take cover, and we're just going to sit here. And I feel like this is one of the things that the Coalition did wrong with Gears of War 4. I feel like with every other Gears of War, I never had such a wave defense like mentality in any other Gears of War. You know, with Gears of War 4, there are many times where it's like, okay, well, the first little mini wave's coming, then the next mini wave is coming, then this mini wave is coming. You've seen it pretty much in every single piece of architecture, every single place that we fought just in this chapter alone. And don't get me wrong, I love mixing it up. I think that the developers, and you can see I went back and I grabbed that ammo because I think I am going to pop out of here for now. I think I'm actually going to wait after I kill, because there's this one guy that I didn't know was here because, you know, it was so dead quiet. But I do kind of get, I think what they were going for was they created these battles that were so cool, and they were so just fun to be in and look at, that they were like, oh, it'd be cool if we had drones here. Oh, but wouldn't it be cool if we had Juvies as well? You know, what would Juvies do? Oh, what if we had snipers in this section too? So they built this big arena for many, many different types of engagements, which they're cool arenas, but they also added in like 3 different engagements. It's almost like they couldn't pick which engagement they wanted the player to experience, so they just picked them all. They're like, no, we'll just make the player experience all of the engagements, all of the things and that stuff. So that's what I think a big downside is for this, because I feel like I started to say before, in previous Gears of War titles, I feel like, oh, you had a battle in this one specific place, and then you moved on into another battle, maybe in a similar place, but maybe just kind of further up the road or further up the travel path. And then that was kind of how the waves worked. You know, you kind of constantly pushed through and all that sort of good stuff. Getting really comfortable here with this long shot. I'm really happy with the shots I've been taking. But when Gears of War 4, I feel it's like, okay, here's the next battle we're going to fight for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, we've beat that. We're going to travel some hallways, get some cool lore, get some cool architecture, and some backstory, maybe a collectible, and then we're in the next arena. Granted, these arenas are really big, and they're not really like arenas in the sense that they're specifically made for engagements. Ooh, that was dangerous, donuts. But they're arenas nonetheless in the mechanical sense. They function as arenas. And yes, I think I was right in saying that in this last engagement, there's no snipers in that final or in that upper balcony area. I'm not sure, can you get in that upper balcony area? That'd be really cool if you could. That would be really, really interesting. But right now there's just one guy left. There's one sniper, and I don't want to pop out of cover, and I don't want to be like in the middle of this animation and then just have this guy headshot me. Like, that would just be so awful, because we're 6-7 minutes into this. We've got 3 minutes left, and man, oh man, that would be a horrible mistake to make. And speaking about a horrible mistake to make, there is a huge opportunity for a horrible mistake to make at the end of this chapter. Yes, there's one more encounter after this 10-minute long fight. Like I said, it's kind of ridiculous, but just take it slow. This is the strategy. You guys know how to play Gears of War by now. If not, this will definitely teach you. This is Gears of War. This is cover. This is whack-a-mole. This is getting used to looking at enemies in cover and when they're going to pop out and where they're going to pop out and all that sort of good stuff. For this last engagement, I don't think there's any snipers, but I think they all have lancers and hammer bursts, so they're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage on you. But if you kind of stand back here, they're really not that big of an issue. They're going to kind of do this weird thing where they think that they are in cover, like that corner right there. It's a really nice corner. So if you stay here, they'll take that cover. And you see even the guy to my right, he's taking cover like facing me. Like, that's not even cover. He's just asking to be shot. He's like the swarm that was like, I didn't sign up for this, so you guys can just kind of kill me. But yeah, just take them out one by one. We're getting super low on ammo. And, but we will get there. We will get there. Look at, they're not taking cover. This last engagement, very, very simple, very easy to do. And it's for this reason, like, does this last battle add anything to my experience? Like, yeah, it was really easy. It wasn't challenging. But did it add anything to this fight? Like, did it add a sense of, oh, finally, I defeated it? Like, no, it just kind of prolonged the inevitable. And so we got 3 waves of the same things, of swarm and a sniper, swarm and a sniper, swarm and a sniper. Then we got that last little swarm. Like, does it really give me a different experience? No. So I'm out of ammo with my long shot. I'm gonna hopefully switch it in for a hammer burst. Actually, that was a lance right there. Notice the music has not stopped. Okay, you have not gotten a checkpoint. It's been 9 minutes. You've not gotten a checkpoint. You've fought 4 waves, 4 freaking waves of a swarm and a sniper, all of the swarm, all of these snipers. It's ridiculous. You have not gotten a checkpoint in ages. Even when you've pushed all the way up here, you're going to want to take out a grenade. I believe you're going to want to take out a grenade, right? Take out a grenade. Watch this door on your left, because this is cheap. This is the coalition going, screw you. We don't care about you, player. Dive out of the way, dive back, and just pray. Pray that those guys don't rush you like they're doing right now. And pray that they take cover and your team, look at them, they're so close. Pray that your teammates take care of them or distract them enough to where you can kill them. That is cheap, the coalition. You're dirty, rotten, no good developers. So good luck with that. I'm going to switch out my long shot for a hammer burst for the next section coming up. Next video, do not go deeper. What's I don't know what it's called, but it's a really challenging section. But hopefully I helped you out with this section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Gears of War morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.